Coming at you out of Anchorage, Alaska. It's Brave in the Mail podcast. That'll be with me, Brave, your host, and we're going to talk about all kinds of different things when it comes to politics. And we'll get to the mayonnaise, too. Get ready, let's go. Hello, hello, hello. We're back. Okay, so last week, um, I have a cold because I sound really bad, but I didn't have a voice last week, so I couldn't do anything. So that was really sad. But here I am. Hello. um, we had a lot of stuff happen. Like, oh my God. But, you know, in these days of Trump, when stuff happens, you tend to forget it because something is always happening. So I can only remember up to like this morning, maybe last night. So we'll talk about what happened in the recent few days, not when I was sick. I know I sound bad, but whatever. Um, so last week, everything went swell. It was horrible. I think we had the debate. That went pretty good. I felt like Harris and Booker and I know I felt like they were pretty strong. Castro and you know, the thing with Biden and Castro, like I guess maybe Castro wasn't quite right. I guess maybe Biden did for once know what he was talking about, but whatever. He's always getting shit wrong. So like whatever. And the way people reacted, oh my God, so racist, so racist. Like Castro is just some slave or something that is not allowed to, say anything negative about Biden. Who is Biden? Okay, y'all need to stop. They be acting like, he's our king or something. Biden is not Obama, okay? And we were allowed to criticize Obama anytime we wanted to. Um, so this whole thing where Biden is untouchable, you need to fucking stop. Get that shit out your head. Biden is not untouchable. Um, Biden says a lot of crazy shit, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later because I actually had to write a piece on him because of some of the things he said. They're outrageous, over the top, ridiculous. I don't know where he's getting this information from. So when people are like, "Oh, Biden doesn't have a racist bone in his body. He sure has a racist mouth. Okay, his tongue is racist. He got all kind of crazy shit to say. And like you can tell that he doesn't really know that it could be construed that way because he swears he's helping. Like he's like that white guy that, slightly racist that swears he's your best friend. And he's always around and he's always saying shit to make you uncomfortable. Like he's like, "Hey, you like chicken? I know you do." Like that's the kind of guy he is. Where you're like, "Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I love chicken. Why are you saying that, Biden? Well, you're black." Like he will just straight up say it. Like, dude, could you shut the fuck up? Like he's embarrassing. Oh my God, he's like that a white stepfather that doesn't know how to fucking act around black people. So and then he thinks that black people always want to hear his black stories. That is something I'm gonna have to get into in a second. So let me tell you what happened recently. First with Kamala. So Kamala was on Mad Owl. She did great. Okay, she is awesome when she's one on one. She's awesome when she's on the stage. I feel like she just had like maybe a kind of a weak patch where she was getting hit from all sides, so it was making her a little bit apprehensive about what to say and what to do. Not know what her next move is. So that was kind of bad for her this summer, but she's getting stronger and she's more sure and I'm happy with her performance in the last couple weeks, and she did great at the debate. When she started it on the debate, she came out and she hit Trump, and she went after Trump, and she looked dead into the camera, and she's like, "Hey, I'm talking to you. You're a piece of shit. You're a failure. You shouldn't be president," and that was good. And I like that. And the whole time, like she only just kept getting Trump. and they had a little bit of bickering back and forth during the debate with Castro. Castro was like, "Hey, it's my time. I'm gonna just jump on him." And oh my God, the Biden nights. You guys are so weak. Okay, get used to it because Trump is going to drag Biden. And what are you gonna do? It's not fair. Is you gonna say that? Oh my God, Republicans are gonna fucking love it. You need to man up. Harris, O'Rourke, they have been taking fire this whole fucking time. Every time they turn around, they're having shots fired on them, and they are having to answer questions and come up with answers and think about it. And yeah, Harris had to change her plan a little bit because people were unhappy with the whole ban insurance companies thing. So she get responsive and she listened because that's something that brings the approval down for the Medicare plan. You want your plan to be approved of. You don't want to just be like, hey, I'm going to force the people to accept my plan the way it is. Otherwise, fuck them. Like, what the fuck? No, they said they don't like it. So that's why Bernie is an asshole. Warren, oh, she's just rising in the polls. Mm. All that rises in white people. Every new person she gets, it's a white person. It even kind of drops her African American numbers because of the amount of white people that are jumping on. And white people are bandwagoners. They see somebody rising, they jump on, and then as soon as that person fucks up, they jump back off and they're on somebody else. Black people are more loyal. They usually stick with you if they pick you, which is why you're seeing Biden stay where he's at. Mm. Not that I'm happy about that, but I know my people and I know how we are. He's going to have to do something that pisses people off for them to leave him alone. It's not going to just be black people move on because somebody else white rises in the polls. We're not interested in all that. So you can miss me with that shit. They keep on saying that. Oh, Warren's going to take it. Well, she going to take it, but she going to be alone because she's not done anything that I see um, even potentially that could be considered enough outreach to any minority group. She's done less than Harris with Native Americans. She's just very limited in her experience, outreach, and contact with black people. And I'm talking black people specifically, but every person of color. I can't think of any group of people of color that she has actually made a lot of contact with and has good relations with where, they like her. It's some people are accepting her um, because of whatever, because she apologized. I see some Native Americans that are like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine with her," and I'm like, "That's cool. That's not my business because my shit's not wrapped up in whatever's going on with y'all. I don't like how she did it. It ain't really got nothing to do with how other people feel about it. It's just when I see some grimy shit going on, some shady shit, especially when it comes to race. I don't care if that race has gotten over it and they're like, okay, well, we forgive you. I don't like what you did. And you're going to have to explain it to I'm satisfied. And oh, excuse me, Black Warren people, don't you ever come over and tell me what the fuck to think again. I don't give a fuck if you're black. Calm the fuck down and back the fuck off. Okay, you got yourself into the group where you looking like the Rays in the grits, and that's not my problem. You don't get to pull me down and shit and call me hateful because I don't like her. I don't trust her. Okay, thank you. So Kamala kicked ass on Maddow. She also kicked ass on Fallon, where she slow jammed the news. It was really nice. I really liked that. Last night, the Working Families Party endorsed Elizabeth Warren over Bernie Sanders. I have never enjoyed myself more. So, if, Sorry. If there's one thing Elizabeth Warren has given me in her life, it is that I had so much Schadenfreude. I was reading last night. You could tell Twitter had to like try to hide the thread because it wasn't even loading. I was like, why ain't this loading now? I was replying to all kinds of people. Oh yeah. So they're all in there, the burners. They are fucking having heartfelt cries about the injustice. Oh no, this is so terrible. How could you? I'm not gonna donate anymore. I quit. Oh, I ain't never seen so many people take their ball and run home. Snot running down their nose, all on their t-shirt. Got dirt running into the snot. They just cry. Oh, ah, yeah. So if you don't, haven't seen that, go ahead and check out my timeline where I am discussing it. Okay, discussing it. I'm telling you, I have a cold. Um, then the burners, so they weren't satisfied with just sitting there all, for like hours, just crying, entertaining me. They go to Wikipedia and they added the Working Family Party's page. Oh, they were so fucking salty. I ain't never seen so much salt in my life. Man, they could fill an ocean with that fucking salt. That was the best salt. I need some more of that salt. You know what happened? When they edited it, I guess people saw it. Somebody got a screenshot, so I have it right here. Let me read some of it to you. Oh shit, I'm gonna read it to you. The Working Families Party is not a political party at all. It is it's simply a small committee of neoliberal corporatists who endorse others like themselves and hope real working families will be naive enough to believe the charade rather than allow working families to determine endorsements. This disingenuous party only counts their votes for 50%. Then they take the other 50% and a small handful of non working individuals, not families, actually make their phony endorsement. So this progressive party isn't even democratic. Going forward, the newly named Working Families Over Party wishes to be true to its name and avoid scrutiny and distrust of the working families it previously patronized. Minor political party in the United States, founded in New York in 1988, and blah, 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 blah. That was so fun. Then they have another part that they did. Here it goes. Working Families Party follows the ideals of their own special interests, all caps. Because by endorsing a candidate like Elizabeth Warren, who has taken money from big corporations and pretends to be a progressive, they are turning their backs on whatever. Y'all are canceled. Okur. Can y'all believe they wrote Okur? Y'all, can you believe they wrote that? That was so fucking good. They still melting down. They not gonna stop. I think the Warren people don't realize that this is just the beginning. This is quiet compared to how it's gonna get. They haven't even activated all their burner cells yet. They not even doxing y'all yet. They not sending y'all letters. They not calling y'all house, making death threats. Oh shit, it's on. Wait, just wait, because we're gonna get another debate. Watch Warren smooth beat Bernie and move up in polls. Mm, I'm gonna love it. Mm-mm-mm. Anything she give me, it'll only be hurting Bernie. And yeah, I'll have to vote for her if she's the nominee, and that'll be the only thing that allows me to make that vote because she has Bernie ass over here screaming until his voice is gone. Now he over here, he really did lose his voice. I wonder if it was some shit like that. Like he heard about what the vote count was gonna be, and they still on that same thread and replying to themselves, arguing about Why did the working family parties do this to them? Why? Why? mm, 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 mm. And I really believe that they were gonna do Warren last time if she had a run, but she didn't, so they picked Bernie. So like I don't really feel like they were beholden to Bernie in any kind of way. But boy, do I love slipping them little info that pisses them off. Like, oh, Warren did this, blah, blah. How could they? She's a corporatist. Lord, it's nice to be following somebody who's not in the lead. Like, I support somebody. She's not in the lead. Thank God. Mm-mm-mm. Because Biden is over here. He's in his own little thing. um, I don't really think people understand, but you're not going to knock Biden off by talking shit about him. The more shit you talk about him, you probably going to get him one or two more black fans because we don't trust y'all, okay? We don't trust you burners. And I'm sorry, we don't really trust Warren. The few y'all got, they're very nice people. And they're so nice that they're willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. And I'm talking black Warren people and, whatever. I'm not going to talk about them like I talk about black burners because they're not the same entity at all. They're actually pretty nice people. And, they'll vote for Harris if she wins. They'll vote, they just prefer Warren. And that's fine. I'm cool with that. I actually liked Warren in the beginning. And I just started listening to her answers and I realized she doesn't answer anything. And I've seen this before, the evasive shit. Yo, that's just not cool. Um, I know she thinks that she's keeping heat off her, and it really is for right now. But when you don't answer these things and you don't come up with answers or like actually tell the truth, then what you do is you put yourself in a bad position for later. So you haven't answered any of this shit. It's going to come at you during the GE and you're not going to really know how to answer it because it's been so long. You've been evasive. You've been given weird answers and they're like, oh, well, you said this. They're going to get you. You said this in September. You said this in October. You said this back in August. But now is this the answer? So that's what you got to worry about with Warren, that she's given too many slightly different weird answers. And a lot of them are just like, what are you answering? So I don't know what to do with that. That's really why I don't trust her. I don't trust anybody that gives evasive answers. Even Trump is a little bit more straightforward than she is, and that's problematic as hell. So, ah, whatever, Warren. Twitter hid that thread. Um, the burners are now seeing that as a major conspiracy theory. They think that Twitter and Warren and the working family parties and the DNC are in collusion to stop them from seeing that thread so that they can talk shit. And really, it's just probably that it's overcapacity because too many of them are trying to get in it. And Twitter probably sees that it's a problematic thread. It's going to start fights. And they just probably hiding it from people because you know what? They can do whatever they want. I have my many wars with Twitter, but at this point, when we're dealing with burners and shit like that, they get toxic, and people get harmed in those threads like that because they focus on somebody and then they target them, target them, target them, target them. Better to go ahead and just hide that whole shit. I'm not even saying that I like Twitter or anything because Twitter is a piece of shit, but yeah, you might want to do that. You might want to hide some of these threads. So then we have Joe Biden. Do you want to talk about Joe Biden? Joe Biden is a weird motherfucker, you guys. Joe Biden has a black story for every situation where he's with black people. Whenever he sees three black people together, he's got a story for you about when he was victorious in some, I don't know, psychological war with black people, but it's always a tough guy, right? So he brings his ass out, and he's talking to a crowd of young black people, teenagers. What does he do? He tells the story about Corn Pop the Gangster. Okay, we did laugh at the name Corn Pop all day. Okay, we were just laughing and laughing. I was Cocoa Puff. Okay. Yeah, I was OG Cocoa Puff because I'm grown now. So, nigga, I'm a OG. I'm a OG. Did you see me just get all real get in? Yeah, okay. Anyways, so Corn Pop, the gangster. Mm, mm. Joe knows a guy named Corn Pop, the gangster. And Corn Pop the gangster came to the pool one day, and he didn't put on his do rag or whatever, his swim cap, because he had pomade in his hair or some shit. Whatever, Joe. And Joe was the lifeguard, the only white lifeguard at this black pool. So he took this job because I guess he wanted to learn about black people. And this is what I mean about Joe will come in and try to force himself on you to be your white friend and like won't go away even if you tell him you're busy forever. So he goes and takes a job in the black neighborhood just so he can be up in black people's faces. Because Joe is not going anywhere. He's going to be in your face, black people. Get used to it. He's your fucking friend, regardless of what the fuck you think. Okay, so Joe Biden's every black person's white friend. And he's over here at the I guess he said Wilmington uh, pool, and he's lifeguarding. Joe, he's red. He looked like a goldfish. He's out there just being lifeguard. And here come Corn Pop, and Corn Pop he's a gangster. He over there like, I'm Corn Pop. He get on the diving board. He bounced. And bounced on that board extra hard. Like he was gonna just keep bouncing. Joe said no. No, called him like Esther. That was transphobic what he did right there, and I'm not even gonna repeat it because I'm just annoyed with him right now. Okay, don't retell that story like that. Okay, so he called him a girl. Uh, I don't know why he had to do that because it's like boys be on the diving board too. What the fuck is wrong? I don't even get what that was about and why he had to say that like that. But whatever he said was wrong, and the guy got mad, and somehow he ended up kicking the dude out the pool. But really, I feel like Joe was the aggressor in that situation because you could tell people without having to, call them girls and be an asshole. But whatever, I'm wrong. So Joe kicks Corn Pop the gangster out the pool, and I guess Corn Pop was gonna wait for him with the blade. So he's waiting with the blade for Joe. Joe says that some other white guy told him he better wrap a chain around his arm or don't come back or some shit. What? So he goes out there and confronts Corn Pops. Yeah, you might be able to cut me, but I'll get this chain around your neck. And this is the story that Joe Biden, remember what I told you he was talking to? Kids. Why are you telling black kids this fucking story, Joe? You need to stop. I don't know what's wrong with him. Somebody needs to tell him that this is not okay. Okay. When you get around some black teenagers, you don't have to tell stories about black teenagers back in 1746 at the Wilmington Pool that you outwitted or something because you were Clint Eastwood. Nigga, you not Clint Eastwood. Here I go. I'm ghetto as hell. This is Joe's fault because he has to tell black exploitation tales every time. And if he would stop that, I would stop saying ghetto stuff and stop being ghetto. It's his fault. White people keep us ghetto because they keep on harassing us with dumb stories. So Joe and Corn Pop, they made up because Joe apologized to Corn Pop and Corn Pop was cool with him. I actually read the obituary for Corn Pop. So y'all, he really was a person. And I was never trying to deny that Corn Pop could exist because you don't know how many dumbass gangbanger names I know from back in the day. Half my homeboys had the stupidest names. So, Iceman, whatever's, okay? Corn Pop was real. Yes, his name was corny. Who cares? But the moral of the story is old white men need to stop telling your black stories every time you get around somebody black. That's not okay. We don't need that. We don't need to know every black thing you've done in life just because you see us and we happen to be black. Do you know how uncomfortable that makes us? When Mexicans come by, do you be like, "Hey, have you ever had tacos?" And do you do shit like that? When Italians come over, I love spaghetti. Like, stop. We don't need that. So that's enough of that. Then I want to talk about why does Joe Biden think we don't have books in our house and we don't read to our kids and we don't talk to our kids from the day they're born? Joe Biden, please stop telling that anecdote. I don't know what that anecdote is about. You're getting it garbled, but you keep on saying 4 million words and social workers, and it came out like Joe Biden thinks we don't speak to our kids, and he wants social workers to teach us how to raise them. I believe that Joe Biden has taken some Hillary policy and mangled it up to the point where it's racist and unrecognizable because he doesn't understand what it is. And he's thinking that, oh, I got to tell them. He told us to get some record players, play the record player. I said, oh my God, Joe, it's not really 1946, okay? Record players. Why are you doing this to us? Why? Why? Why do you have to run? You're just making me embarrassed. I'm humiliated every day by Joe Biden. Joe Biden, stop being humiliating. Um, oh, then we have this. Oh, do you guys remember Tulsi Gabbard? Tulsi Gabbard is that woman that lies. Yeah. So she lied on Kamala. And recently I discovered that because I get up early in the morning and I read all the articles before everybody else does so that I can seem like I'm psychic, right? So I read an article and it breaks down what Kamala's read policy was when she was DA. Oh, this woman did not put 1,500 people in prison for no weed. 45 people. Why did Tulsi Gabbard come out lying? Tulsi Gabbard is a liar. I haven't seen anything about Tulsi Gabbard since that day. I don't know. Maybe it's like Tulsi Gabbard getting caught with the lies and lies just made her irrelevant. But I'm actually going to repost that story that I wrote about Tulsi and how she lies about the weed, because you guys need to go ahead and read that. So I did write that article. She had a policy where if weed was the only charge, there was no jail time. Like she's tried to divert most of the people to some drug program or counseling, just anything so that they didn't have to put them in jail. So it's all lies that she had this draconian drug policy. It's just not true. It's not true. It didn't happen. Um, well, just like a lot of stuff going on this campaign season. Like it's just so weird how people make up whatever they want and people just believe it, and it's really bizarre. If you're black, it's always negative. If you're white, it's always positive. I mean, Liz Warren she can be a Democrat after I was, and I was in sixth grade. I was voting for Bill Clinton, and she's like still, I guess, Republican or independent, and like I just don't trust her. So whatever, I'm gonna stop saying that. Um, so that was good. We had some good news on Kamala about the weed. So I haven't really been hearing anything about her locking all the black people up for weed ever since that. Um, I was waiting to hand it to a million people, but after the first day, they just fucking went away. So I'm like, are these the Russian trolls again? I'll get on my nerves. hmm Sean Spicer's on Dancing with the Stars. I know. Yeah. He said some shit today about like a vote for him was a vote for Jesus or something. Lord, he looks so stupid in that green shirt. He just looked like flying snot. He just looked so damn dumb. Why are you on Dancing with the Stars? You can't dance. You're weird looking. You're florid. You look like you sweat a lot. I would hate to be his dance partner. Very embarrassing. Yeah, he should have stayed with Trump. That's how fucking weird he is. Trump is just a weirdo, but Sean Spicer. Oh, y'all remember that day he wore two different shoes? Or that time he hit in the bushes? There's a lot of stuff going on. The world is crazy. We got AOC out here trying to have her people primaried. They're all facing primaries. Um, she's trying to get I guess she's endorsing the primary opponents of people that she doesn't like. And Warren is doing this shit too. So they're endorsing Justice Dems over Democrats that have been there. And let me say, quite frankly, most of the Dems that they're targeting actually suck. But I don't think Justice Dems is the right organization to be doing this. I don't really think it should be an organized thing. That makes it a little bit weird for me. Like, what are you trying to do? You're trying to get a Congress that's reflective of you? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to hand seats to the Republicans because not everybody's like you. I try to tell that to AOC. She's not gonna believe you. Um, but yeah, um, Mr. Dane's back on Twitter just for the social media people that give a fuck. He's there. I follow him. I'll just start retweeting him a lot so you'll see. hmm But there's a lot of weird dynamics in this campaign. There's a lot of stuff going on this year that is just unfortunate as fuck. Um, like I feel like my tie to the Democratic Party is weakening by the day. Like, I'm super far to the left anyway. I probably shouldn't have been a Democrat, but that's where I like to be. I like to be in the party. And the focus on economics, the class reductionism, it's not my bag, baby. I do not like it. But I'm looking around, there's nowhere else that I can go. And independents get on my nerves because I don't trust independents. If you're independent, then I just think that means that you can't make a decision because you're fake. So you have to decide. But I can see that I'm just like weakening with the Democratic Party. And I think it was this whole 4 years of focus on the white working class, the white working class, the white working class. And right now they're like, oh, what about black voters? And I'm like, what about us? Don't look at us. Leave us alone. Y'all didn't have nothing to say to us for the last 4 years. Now all of a sudden you want to know about us. You're worried about us. Mm-mm. That's where Warren messed up. She spent too much of her career um, being either a Republican or independent, and the time that she has been a Dem, she has not focused any of her attention on any social justice issues. Um, Bernie hasn't really either, but he does have a tiny slice of history where he can bring out photographs of him doing stuff where he could be kind of construed as helping black people. So you kind of gotta like look at it like, I don't like Bernie, but Warren, what has she done? They keep telling me the bankruptcy thing. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Nice. A lot of black people can't even get credit in the first place. That's what we're worried about. That's what we're working on. We have social justice issues. And what has she done to make sure that black people can get credit, to make sure that they are getting treated fairly by the black people specifically? Because we get treated different. So if you're saying, oh, I helped with the banking and stuff like that, well, what did you do about the fact that we get mortgages and we pay more and we have in the same salary, same credit rating, whatever? What have you done to make sure that that's not happening anymore? I'm talking real shit. And then nobody can say anything. They're like, well, she worked on it for everybody. That doesn't mean anything to me. I need to know what you did specifically. Also, her rewrites. Okay, she does this thing where if she likes your plan, she just rewrites it for herself. Um, I don't like that because that means that she didn't put in any of the work. She didn't put any of the time researching, and she's taking work that somebody else really spent time on, and she's just co-opting it and saying, "Oh, well, I'll take that, and that's for me." And nobody calls her on it. And there you go, white privilege. I don't like white privilege. I don't like people that blatantly use their white privilege to benefit themselves, and that's what she's doing. If she weren't doing that, I could still fuck with Elizabeth Warren. That pretty much made her a never for me. Unless she goes out and says, oh, I want to thank Kamala for, her plan because I used that. And she needs to go out there and like acknowledge who she got these ideas from and stop just taking without acknowledging because I feel like that's what she did with the whole Native American identity thing. And the things she does are on race. The mistakes she makes are on race, and I don't always feel like they're mistakes. To me, they're deliberate acts to benefit her in some way. I don't, care if it's just a psychological boost, or if it just makes her feel special, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to benefit her financially or professionally or anything like that. Even if it just makes her feel good, that's unfair. So I don't like the way she does that. She needs to stop that. If you use somebody else's outline to write your paper, you need to fucking acknowledge that. You need to say, I used their outline. Those are their points. I liked them, so I expanded upon them to write mine. That's fine. But you need to say something. And she doesn't listen to the black voices that are saying this to her because there's a lot of us out here saying it, and I'm not seeing her change anything she's doing. So the people that are saying she changed, what did she change? What's different? She changed on economics. That's the whitest thing in the world. If you're still co-opting things from people of color and you're not acknowledging that you took it, you have a problem, and I have a problem with that. Um, I saw her do that with one of Harris's plans. I saw her do that with one of Castro's plans. Um, she kind of took a little bit from one of Bernie's plans. Oh God, she released some thing on Medicare for all. Horrible. Worst thing I've ever seen. Her health care plan is worse than, it's the worst one. It's the worst one. She really put no effort into it. She didn't think about it. She didn't even really write a plan. She just wrote some sort of like intro, some points she wanted to hit, and just started putting her other things that she's written for Congress in as, oh, we're going to use this, we're going to use that. But those things were written for the ACA version of healthcare. They do not fit the Medicare for all world. So if you're saying, hey, I want Medicare for all, that's what my thing. Why are you bringing stuff for the ACA and using that as part of your plan? That was the laziest thing I have ever seen. And it kind of brings light to why she's using other people's plans. Elizabeth doesn't have any ideas. The only ideas she has are financial, mm, holding businesses to account, corporation, corporations and stuff. So it's my opinion that maybe she should run that, run the thing she started, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. She needs to run that. Because that's what she's really focused on, and that's the only thing she's really good at. She's not a good all around person. She does not really have any foreign policy. Um, Even her domestic policy is just based on, fight, 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 fight the corporations. Your lady, mm-mm. When are you gonna fight white supremacy? Yeah. Mm. So we have that. Um, Trump wants Congress to investigate Obama. The funny part about this is he wants them to investigate him for a Netflix documentary he's doing. I have no idea what the fuck is up with Trump. Mm. Besides the fact that he's crazy. Um, but I think that he's losing his mind. He seems more feeble every day. Um, and I mean like mentally feeble. Like he doesn't know what he's talking about. He does not know what's going on. He's confused. And it would be sad to put somebody up against him that could spark his energy back up and he could, start. Okay, I'm gonna pay attention. Put Warren up. He loves winning against Warren. He has owned her several times. She looked so stupid the last time she went up against him because she took the DNA test. Nobody told her to do that except Trump. And she went there and she was so proud. Then she pissed off people who actually have a tie to that community by her stupid little games. This is what I mean about her. The things she does are always on race, and she always get a pass, and that's not okay with me. I feel like what she did there was wrong, and I have so many white women that come getting so angry. How could you say that? That's her heritage. We don't know that. Mm-mm. We are finding that some of her family did participate in atrocities against Native Americans, but we still haven't quite found one who was a Native American. And you can take all the blood tests you want with South American Indian bloodline use. That does not ever going to mean that you're actually tied to any tribe in the United States. I get people want to rely on this weird blood thing. That I don't even understand that. If your last black ancestor was in 1712, you and everybody else was black, was white since then, you ain't no parts black. Go sit the fuck down somewhere. And so I wish people would see it like they see black. Because if you say black, they never have an answer. Like, oh, okay, well, let's just pretend it's black. They're like, oh shit, and they fucking skedaddle because they don't want to talk about that, the white supremacy inherent in how they treat blackness. Because I asked them straight up, okay, well then I must be white because I know my last white ancestor. He was my granddad. I sat on his lap, okay, and everybody else is mixed with white. I mean, if you take pictures of my relatives coming off the plantation, you didn't know they were black people because they look like white people because that's how slavery went, and they raped and raped and raped them until we were almost white. And after we got out of slavery, I guess my great 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 grandma, she liked it black, so we started getting a little bit darker. But my dad was real light. Everybody, a lot of my relatives are. And then we got the dark ones, and then like I'm one of the darker ones, and I feel like comfortable with that because the legacy of rape and slavery is very oppressive. So if you have light skin, a lot of times you look at it in a negative way because you know where it came from, and it didn't come from somewhere good. So it's not something you're proud of. I guess it may have used to been, but we're a little bit more aware of our blackness and the history behind it, and it hurts. It hurts to look at yourself and know how you got here. So people need to stop with the whole racial shit. You guys are really harmful. Um, the, I don't even like the way you guys do it. The whole thing with you kind of constantly saying Pocahontas. Shut up. That is why I don't want Warren in a GE. I do not want to deal with that bullshit every day. Mm-mm. Like if I feel like certain people, they should care more about how the shit will affect the nation and the people than winning and being the one. Because if you're gonna hurt so many people just by you running, what good are you? How are you helping? I got people right now dismissing, the concerns of pretty much every POC, um, every person of color in order to like promote Warren, and they are fucking rude. So not really digging that. We got a couple more things I gotta say before I get out of here. Trump's African American. Y'all remember when Trump said he had an African American? Oh, look, there's my African American over there. He done left the GOP. Okay. He's running as an independent. Yeah, he's running for office. He's done with Trump. And he's going to run as an independent, I guess, against a Republican. He's mad. He says Trump done acted racist. Um, he's actually one of those, like, a man scorned, like, oh, how dare you call me your African American and have me thinking that you were okay. And then the next thing I know, look at what you're doing. Um, Look at what you're saying about black people. Look what you're saying about black countries. Look what you're doing to the Latinos. Like he can't handle this shit, and he's going all around on all the shows to talk shit about Trump. And I'm glad about that because I was like, how are you gonna let him call you his African American? You crazy. But now he's like, no, I'm not sure nothing. Good. That's what you get. Don't be his boy. Tamika Mallory, Linda Sarsour, and some Bob lady, um, all quit the Women's March. I kind of think they got asked to go away, um, because of there's been infighting all year. So fucking hilarious. I told Tamika Mallory last year, the year before, that what she was doing, the way she had been behaving with Farrakhan and trying to defend him and all that shit, that's harmful. What are you doing? Every time somebody trots him back out, people are hurt by this because the man is not a good man. And the things he says are straight up evil. Straight up evil. So you can't be like, oh, I love this evil man and be out here representing women. Like we don't like him. We don't want him. And you want to, ugh, just having him attached to you means you need to go away. And I'm tired. So I'm glad they went away. So yes, that's it. I'm done. This has been a ranty episode. I'm so sick. So I'll probably not do one for the next few days because I'm still sounding really bad. But um, oh my God, the burners melting down. Best thing ever. You guys have to come to my page and look at the things that they're saying. It is so funny. So that's it. That's all for the show. Love y'all. Talk to you next time. This has been Brave in the Mayo podcast. You can donate to my podcast at Bravenac on PayPal or Super Brave 81 on Venmo. Check it out next week. I'll come back with a full voice and you will love it even more. Bye.